Alright, I'm going to show you how to fix a JST connector on your LiPo battery. First, you want to get a JST connector kit. These are real cheap. You can get them on Amazon. Alright, you want to take your culprit. A lot of the time these are actually fine, but if these the little retention tab on the JST connector pin is broken or bent, then you're going to have to replace the pin. You're going to want to go ahead and cut that pin off. Just go ahead and snip. We'll go ahead and strip the wire, just tiny bit. You don't need to cut a lot off. Then you're going to take one of these JST XH female connectors, or well, they're actually terminals. You're going to make sure that you cut enough wire. I actually cut a little too much, so you're good. Then you want to take your crimping tool. You want to line it up with the appropriate crimp. Make sure that you don't crush the retention tab. And you take your wire, push the wire in just past the rubber just a little bit. Press all the way down, and you're good. Again, I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but there's a little retention tab right there. Make sure you don't crush that. If you crush that, then this thing's going to fall out and it's going to be useless. And then you just do that about 6 more times. I like to cover all the terminals that I finished up with a little bit of tape, because if they touch, they will short circuit. You can actually get it pre-crimped just a little bit by putting it into your tool. Mine clicks down into position a little quick, so I can actually just hold it in place while I get the wire prepared. It's handy. Just like that. Don't worry, if you're not sure about it, we're going to go by it with the multimeter and read them all and make sure they're made a good connection. Alright, once you got all the terminals hooked up to the wires, then you want to grab your 7-pin, or in my case, this is a 7-pin, and now we're going to find out which order to put all the terminals in the JST connector. Now the side with all the holes in it is the bottom, and in the leftmost hole, we're going to put the positive lead. When it's all the way in, you should hear a little click. Alright, now that we got the positive lead in, we're going to get the multimeter out. Now we're going to measure the voltages of all the wires so that we can order them in the correct order, and our battery balancer can individually charge all the cells in the correct order so our battery doesn't explode. Make sure you have your multimeter set to direct current. Okay, so we're going to insert all the terminals into the connector in ascending order of voltage, meaning from the red wire, or the positive lead, we're going to take the lowest voltage and plug them in ascending order to the highest voltage. I'm just going to shove my hot right into the XT60. If you have a clamp, that's even better. The lead that I have uncovered right now is 2.9. Yep, 2.9 is the lowest lead, so we're going to go ahead and insert it right next to the positive lead. Make sure we do it the right way. The little tab should be facing the hole on the bottom side of the connector. And then again, you should hear a little click. Alright, we're going to find the next lowest. 17 volts. 11 volts. 8 volts, 5.8 volts, 14 volts. Alright, so we found 5.8 volts, that's the next lowest. Go ahead and take that off. Then we're going to insert this terminal into the connector right next to the one that we just plugged in. You should hear a little click. You can even look over to the bottom of the connector and make sure that all of the little tabs on the terminal are fully clicked in. Alright, so the next highest voltage, there's 14, there's 17, there's 11, there's 8, and there's 14. So 8 is the next highest, or the next lowest. We can take that, or try to get some of this electrical tape off, and there you go. Hear a little click. Alright, so we got 8, next highest, 17, 11, 14. Alright, so it's 11. There you go. The click is really important. If you don't hear the click, that means it's not seated in the connector properly and it's going to pull out. The last thing you want is for a terminal to pull out right when you're charging your battery. These LiPos are kind of fragile, so you don't really want to mess with them. 17, 14. 14's our next highest. Alright, and then we only have one more, so there's really no reason to check it. There we go. Alright, and then for one more good final check, just to make sure that we don't plug it in with any of the wrong terminals or in any wrong order, we're going to take the multimeter one more time, and we're just going to go down the line and check. 0 on the positive, 3, 5.8, 8, 11, 14, 17. There we go. Perfect.